Is the AP Top 25 closer to reality than the rankings that the playoff committee puts out? Let's go. What's going on, everybody? It's me again, Golden Blue Dude, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. I do college football videos every single day, so whether you agree with me, want to talk trash with me, or talk trash to me, you're going to enjoy this channel. Usually I do my AP Top 25 reaction on Sundays when they come out. Well, I was traveling back from West Virginia to my home in South Carolina. Didn't get a chance. So I decided to do it today. And when I looked at it, I'm like, these guys are getting it right. The playoff committee, not so much. Let's run through it real quick. Starting at the bottom, number 25, San Jose State. They're still undefeated, 6-0. Last week they were non-ranked. They beat an undefeated Nevada in the Mountain West. That was a big game. They won 30-20, so that puts San Jose State in first place in the Mountain West. So they'll battle Boise State for the Mountain West Championship and their top bowl bid. Number 24, NC State. They didn't play this week, but they're 8-3 and they look like a good football team. I agree with that as well. Number 23, Buffalo. They rise one spot after just shellacking Kent State 56-7. And Kent State is not a terrible team. That's an impressive win for Buffalo. Number 22, Liberty. They didn't play this week. BYU took their place against Coastal Carolina. It worked out for Liberty. Not so much for BYU. BYU got stomped out of the playoff conversation and will probably miss the New Year's Six. Meanwhile, Liberty stays at 9-1 and ranked. So, worked out for the team that didn't play, hurt the team that did play. Number 21, Texas. They rose 2 spots even though their game against Kansas was canceled. They'll get higher bowl bid in the Big 12. Number 20, Tulsa. They fall 2 spots after their game against Cincinnati was canceled. But the game against Cincinnati for the AAC Championship is still on. That's a big game. Hopefully nobody has to cancel out of that one. Number 19, Miami, the biggest faller. They fell 10 spots because they got owned by number 17, North Carolina. Number 17 at the time, playoff rankings. 62-26 at home. North Carolina went to Miami and owned them. Number 18, Iowa. They're starting to pile up some wins now. They're 6-2. They rise 1 spot after a beatdown on Wisconsin, 28-7. Now I'm okay with those rankings. Number 17, Louisiana. They didn't play. They stayed the same. How about that? A team doesn't play and they just stay where they were. Makes sense to me. Number 16, North Carolina. They rose 4 spots. Like I said, after going to Miami and shellacking them 62-26. That was a great win for North Carolina, and it could put them in a position to go to the Orange Bowl. Number 15, Northwestern. They stayed the same. They're 6-1. They got a decent win against Illinois, and they're going to play Ohio State for the Big Ten Championship. Number 14, BYU. They're 10-1. They stayed the same. Rebounded from the Coastal Carolina loss. Beat San Diego State 28-14. Number 13, USC. They're 5-0. They rose 3 spots, but they needed a comeback to beat their arch rival on the road. But they do. They go on the road, beat UCLA 43-38. Number 12, Oklahoma. You know, they were supposed to play West Virginia 2 weeks ago. They had to cancel because of COVID numbers. So they postponed it to this week. Then we had to cancel West Virginia because of COVID numbers. So it just didn't get played. And Oklahoma still rose 1 spot to number 12. Number 11, Florida. I was wondering where they would land. They're 8-2. They fell 5 spots after a bad loss to LSU, 37-34. Honestly, I would have Florida a little bit lower than that. I would have them probably around 15, but it's not a terrible ranking. Number 10, Georgia. Creeping back into the top 10, 7-2, up 2 spots with a good win on the road against a ranked Missouri team, 49-14. They looked really good, not going to lie. Number 9, Coastal Carolina. I love this ranking, 11-0. They rose 2 spots, and I knew that they had the potential of having a letdown game against Troy after playing their minds out against BYU. They did have a letdown game, but they survived. And that's the biggest thing, survival. So now they will play Louisiana for the Sun Belt Championship. That would be another good win for Coastal Carolina if they can pull it off. Get into a New Year's Six, maybe whispers of the playoffs? I don't know. The playoff committee hates Group of Five, so I doubt it. But my goodness, Coastal Carolina could have one of the best resumes in the nation if they beat Louisiana in the Sun Belt Championship again. They already beat them once. Number 8, Iowa State, a team that Louisiana has beaten. So Louisiana beat Iowa State, and Coastal Carolina has beaten Louisiana and has a chance to beat them again. And yet Iowa State is ranked above Coastal Carolina with 2 losses. That's an issue I do have in the AP Top 25. Same deal with the playoffs, but the playoff rankings are worse. Iowa State, they rose 2 spots even though they didn't play this week. Number 7, Indiana. They're creeping up again. 6-1. Their game was canceled, but they rose 1 spot. Number 6, Cincinnati. They rose 1 spot. Their game was canceled, but you know what? I like this position. I don't like Iowa State above Cincinnati in the other rankings. The top 5 remain the same. Texas A&M, their game was postponed. They're 7-1. Clemson, number 4. They didn't play. Ohio State, number 3. 5-0. Their game was canceled. Notre Dame, number 2. 10-0. They were idle. Number 1, Alabama, with all 62 votes, with a nice win at Arkansas, 52-3. I'm telling you, Alabama looks like the LSU from last year. They look like nobody is going to touch them. I think Clemson and Notre Dame are the only 2 teams that could maybe give them a fight. I don't even think Ohio State can. I know they're going to be the undefeated champs of the Big Ten if they beat Northwestern, but Ohio State has not impressed me. They've had one great game, and that was against a bad Michigan State team. And yes, that game against Indiana was a good win, but they did not look good doing it. If they play like that against Alabama, they will get beat by 4 touchdowns. I'm just telling you, at this moment in time. Maybe they'll get better from here to the playoffs. I don't know. But right now, Alabama is head and shoulders better than everybody else. Well, that's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on my next show.